Hello everyone, Philip here, and welcome, finally, to yet another update for the Bun Squad. Specifically, welcome to another Bun Squad debriefing. For those new here who don't know what the Bun Squad debriefing is, essentially what this is a yearly update that we do at the start of every year, that we began last year, that's sole purpose is essentially to update you guys on what Zen and I have in store for that specific year of the Bun Squad. And of course, this year, or for this video, I should say, we are talking about our plans for 2025. No, of course not. We're talking about 2023. Some of you might notice that it's been quite some time since the last update video period. And that's because, for those who aren't aware, we actually moved our monthly or bi-monthly updates to our community posts because we realized that the updates themselves weren't even really getting many views, which meant that the day or two it would take to actually make those videos really wasn't worth it in the end. That's a day that could have gone to scripting or recording or whatever, like whatever it may be. So at the end of the day, we decided, you know what, let's just move updates to community posts. It'll get across the same thing, and we'll be able to do them just more regularly, because before it was bi-monthly, now we try and do those updates on a monthly basis. So, this is going to be the first update we've made, I think, since about May or so. And there's a lot to go over. There has been a lot to go over, especially because 2022... for all intents and purposes, while Zen and I are happy with a lot of the results that came out in 2022 as far as our content was concerned, there are some things that we really wish that we were able to do more frequently or better. For starters, there are a lot of videos in which we promised in last year's Bun Squad debriefing that still haven't come out. More specifically, as far as the main series is concerned, the Danganronpa 2 video has still yet to come out, and on top of that, we have a few patron requests yet to do. Like we promised that we would do the Fairly Odd Parents channel chases video, the next Zentoku video with Kamen Rider Forever A to Z, a Knives Out video, which was originally supposed to be the end of year anniversary video, but more on that in a bit. And of course, we had promised the next History of One Piece video with the Buggy arc. And you know, I really wish we had a better reason for why these videos haven't come out yet. Like, oh, you know, one of us was in a car crash and it took years off of our life, but you know, we're soldiering on and we're gonna get... No, it's very boring. It is very, very boring. Basically, life has caught up to Zen and I. There is a lot of things on both of our ends that we have needed to prioritize and get done. For example, on Zen's end, she has recently had to move to a different apartment in her apartment complex. And on my end, I have been job hunting for certain jobs IRL, as well as graduating from my bachelor's course last year. So there has been a lot on both of our ends to do outside of making videos that it has made catching up with what we thought we could handle in 2022. It's made all of that just really difficult this past year. Luckily, we had a lot of archive videos to upload in the form of the Diving to DuckTales archives, but all of those have essentially run out. And we've also run out of live streams to upload over on Bun Squad Gaming, so we are bare naked right now. We have to essentially rely on making videos, you know, as we go, meaning that our schedule may not be as frequent as it used to be, so we apologize for that. So, you know, at this stage, there's nothing really we can do but play things by ear and adjust our schedule around what real life, you know, sees for us. For example, I'm actually going overseas again. Now, you might be thinking, again, Phil, didn't you just go overseas to Macedonia in October? And for those who didn't know that I did that, yeah, I did. Because last year was only between me and my father going over to Macedonia. This year, my entire family is going to be going over in April and May. And then on my own, I'm going to be going over to the US in June to visit Zen herself, as well as a bunch of other friends for other purposes. Not going to get into that for the time being. But yeah, so I'm going to have a very busy second quarter of the year. And unsurprisingly, during that part of the year, I'm going to be unable to actually edit a bunch of videos. So don't expect the most hefty May or June schedule. We're gonna try and get some stuff out regardless, which will thankfully be helped by Tifa, but overall, they're not gonna be the busiest of months. So the middle of the year might be a little bit because of that, but don't worry, we still have a whole lot planned to come out this year. With that said, as far as the main series for the channel is concerned, that being the Bun Squad itself, it's not really going to be that busy of a year. Or rather, it is, just more so in quality over quantity. Since there are only really 2 main Bun Squad videos that we know for sure we want to have out this year. Or 3, but I'll get to that in a second. Those 2 videos in question are an Arcane video, which is going to be titled, Why is Arcane the Best Video Game Adaptation Ever Made? And the other is the next Danganronpa video, which will be Why I Love Danganronpa 2. And that's Zen speaking, but I also love Danganronpa 2 as well. Those respectively, we're planning for an April and either August or September release in terms of Danganronpa 2. But, you know, those are really the only 2 that we have penciled down at the moment. Like, okay, we know for sure that these 2 videos we want to have out. And the reason why they're the only videos we currently have mapped out is because both videos in question are going to be super long. Like, the Arcane video itself is going to be close to Danganronpa 1's length. And if you remember the Danganronpa 1 video, then you'll know how long that was. And the Danganronpa 2 video, sadly, much to my dismay, is going to be even longer than the Danganronpa 1 video, and is probably going to be teetering close to like 3.5 to 4 hours. I'm not kidding. It is going to be a massive, massive video. One that I'm looking forward to you guys seeing, but one that I am also not very much looking forward to editing, which is why I'm actually getting the help of Tifa, so we can both edit the Danganronpa 2 video and kind of section off parts of that video to each of us individually. With that said, even though those 2 videos are going to be massive and they're the only ones that we're currently penciling down for this year, we also have yet another Xenoween video that we want to do this year in the form of Halloween 2. We finally want to get the Halloween series back up and running. The initial plan was to actually do 1 movie in the Halloween franchise every single year, but because of the Despair arc, that kind of got pushed back, and we're at the point now where we're kind of like, you know what, screw it, let's start Halloween 2 back, let's start the Halloween series back up again, let's do Halloween 2. Zen wants to do more Xenoween videos for the month. In particular, she wants to do about 2 other ones, or at least 1 other one. But I've kind of had the discussion with her that, you know, Danganronpa 2 is going to be a very hefty video for Tifa and I to edit. And considering the fact that it's already going to be coming out close to Halloween anyway, I don't know if we're going to have any other Xenoween episode coming out that month. With the exception of Halloween 2. We haven't had too many discussions about it yet because that's October and it's currently January. So we haven't had too much discussion about it yet, but at the moment it's very doubtful that aside from Halloween 2, we'll be having any other Xenoween video up in that month. But you know, apart from Xenoween, we also do want to have another episode of the Humongous Entertainment retrospective up. I know some people have been asking, like, Philip, that's been one of your more popular videos on the channel, and yet you haven't actually released part 2 yet. Like, what's the deal? Where's that? Because it's been like 2 years at this point. And here's the initial plan. The initial plan was to do part 2 after the Danganronpa marathon was done. That was the plan initially for the Humongous Entertainment retrospective. It was going to be a buffer between larger projects, and it kind of still is, but not to the same extent, because initially we were going to do it in between marathons. So we were going to do the Danganronpa marathon, then part 2, then another marathon after that, then part 3, then the Fate Stay Night marathon, then, you know, etc, etc, etc. But what we weren't expecting was that Danganronpa 2 was gonna take, not Danganronpa 2 specifically, but Danganronpa as a whole was going to take us just a tremendous amount of time because of how long the videos themselves are and how much real life was going to be getting in the way of us actually making those videos. So because of that, we've decided to bump part 2 of the Humongous Entertainment retrospective up to after Danganronpa 2 comes out, and then after Ultra Despair Girls, and Danganronpa V3. Then we're going to do the third part. And then after the marathon we have planned for after that, we'll do part 4. Not going to get too much into that because, look guys, that's still so much, like that's, I don't want to say so far away because we do want to get these videos out as soon as possible, but we still have so much to do before then. Like after Danganronpa 2 is done, we're still only going to be halfway through this goddamn Despair arc. Like we still have to do Ultra Despair Girls and V3, as well as the Danganronpa 3 anime. Which, granted, Ultra Despair Girls and DR3 shouldn't take as long as the main series, but, you know, it's Danganronpa, so I've learned to just not underestimate the size of these videos. But at the very least, we want to have a humongous entertainment video out by the end of this year. And that video itself is going to be on Freddy Fish. It'll be on the first 2 Freddy Fish games. We were thinking maybe lumping the 3rd game in there since that's the most popular Freddy game. But we figured, you know what, let's lump that in with 4 and 5 down the line. So that'll be happening when it happens. But as far as the other videos we had promised last year, like the Buggy arc, I'm going to be real with you guys. We currently have no immediate plans for History of One Piece. And I know a lot of people have also been asking about History of One Piece. And the thing is, because we want to keep History of One Piece relatively separate from the storyline segments we have in the video, it's made us kind of just not prioritize the series, as well as the fact that because of the situation that happened with Totally Not Mark and the One Piece and Dragon Ball videos that were taken down from his channel because of Toei Animation, it's one of those things where it's like, it's not a priority at the moment. We want to get that series back up and running sooner or later, but I'm just going to give you the heads up right now. It's not going to be in 2023. It's not going to be this year. So that'll probably happen either sometime near the end of the Despair arc, or what I'm thinking being after the Despair arc, but we'll keep you updated on that. All you got to know is that it's not moving ahead this year. But if I do have any update regarding that, it's that, unlike what I said in last year's update, the Buggy arc is going to be one whole video again. The only reason we had split it up was so it was easier on our schedule, but because it's not going to be in the Despair arc anymore, we decided, you know what, screw it. It's one video again. On top of that, the Knives Out video is not happening this year. We kind of want to save it for a much bigger milestone, given how much Zen loves the movie. And because I have since seen it myself, I can say now I love the movie as well. So we're going to save that for a bigger milestone down the line. But with that said, the Channel Chasers and Kamen Rider videos will still be happening in this arc. It's debatable as to whether they're happening this year. I don't think they will be, but you never know. Maybe we're on top of our schedule and we can, you know, push them out for this year. If not, then early next year is the safest bet for those videos in particular. But yeah, those are our plans for the main series of the Bun Squad this year. Zen also does have this one idea for a one-off video essay to do on the side. It's not going to be a part of the main Bun Squad series, but she has been itching to talk about Genshin Impact, which I know some people might groan at that, and a little part of me does as well, but Zen has put an ungodly amount of hours into Genshin Impact and has fallen into a rabbit hole, as she likes to say. So she's going to be making a video essay on Genshin Impact sometime in the middle of this year. We have a schedule, like we have a date put onto it on our schedule so far. I think it was sometime in June she said she was going to do that. But otherwise, we'll keep you guys updated for whatever date that may or may not change to. That's something that she's wanted to do for a while now, and I just said, you know what? In between projects, you go ahead and do it. It'll be fun. It should be fun just to do as a one-off project. But on top of that, we also have some projects on the side for our other series on the Bun Squad, such as you guys saw recently, Midnight Combo Pack. We recently had our Dante's Inferno and Hat in Time video come out, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely think it is a vast improvement over the first Midnight Combo Pack on Portal 1 and 2. The format that you see in that Dante and Hat video is going to be the format that we have going forward. I kind of struggled with like how I wanted to edit the video for the first, for that first episode. And I think the formula that we had put down for Dante's Inferno and Hat in Time is the perfect formula to just run with for Midnight Combo Pack going forward. And we definitely have some videos in the pipeline coming down this year. One video that's already been recorded that we're gonna, try and get out before I go over to Macedonia is an Assassin's Creed and Darksiders episode. But on top of that, we also have plans for a Spider-Man 1 and 2 video, specifically Spider-Man 1 and 2 being the 6th gen games that were tie-ins with the movies. Zen's going to be playing those on PS2, but I think they were also on GameCube and Xbox. And then also, maybe, if there's enough time this year, we'll also do a video on Ace Attorney and Professor Layton. More so the first games in both those respective series. If that doesn't come out this year, it'll probably be started next year again. But at the very least, you should see those Assassin's Creed and Darksiders video or the Spider-Man 1 and 2 video before the end of the year. But on top of that, we also have our podcasts, or specifically Zen's podcast, which have both been going swimmingly. They are back on track, and Diving into DuckTales specifically only has 2 more videos left. I know that, there was a lot of Diving into DuckTales spam last year, but luckily all the archives for those videos are done and dusted, and Zen, Cat, and Doug only have 2 more videos that are a part of that Diving into DuckTales finale left. One of them is going to be on the DuckTales podcast and shorts that the crew over at Disney XD or wherever else that the crew had basically compiled and put online. And then the final video for Diving into DuckTales is going to be on Zen, Cat, and Doug's top 15 favorite episodes in the whole series. And once those 2 videos are done, that's it. You don't have to see that yellow thumbnail ever again. It's done. Diving into DuckTales will be finished. And then after that, it'll also be the Disney debate, which currently is the next video is going to be the yearly look back at the films that came out last year. I think they said like it was a top 14 list for this year. Thumbnails on screen, you can see exactly what the number is right now. But yeah, so that'll be coming out around March-ish, I think is when Zen said, because she still has a couple of the films from last year to actually watch herself and prepare, so she can prepare for that video itself. But after that, the remake block will last for about another 3 or 4 podcasts, and following that, it'll be back to covering movies from the 60s. So I'll basically be back on track for the Disney debate until the next block comes out, which will be on sequels, but that won't be happening for quite some time. So those are Zen's side series that she'll be keeping up to date with as the year goes on. But as we kind of teased last year, myself and the others on the channel will also be finally beginning our series on the Bun Squad. So in my case, we'll be starting my own series, which we've not so subtly called Flip Perspective. I say not so subtly because it's like everyone keeps getting my name wrong for that, for Flip, which is like, and I always have to say, no, it isn't Flip, it isn't Filip, it is Filip. But yeah, so we just decided, you know what, it's a fun play on words, let's just call it that, it'll be fun. The first video for that series will be coming up in about another month or 2. We're currently in the scripting, near the tail end of the scripting process for that. It'll be an episode-by-episode review of Hell of a Boss Season 1, which was supposed to come out before Season 2 started. And then I left for Macedonia, and I said, shit, this is gonna have to be delayed. So yeah, that'll be coming up very soon, around late February, sometime in March. And whereas that's going to be just kind of like an episode-by-episode review within that video, I should also stress that that series itself isn't going to be confined to one specific formula. I'm basically going to be... It'll range from, talking about a bunch of games in one video or a bunch of episodes of a show in one video to more specific topics on like one idea I had is comparing the villains of both Knives Out films, or talking about a specific fight that I think is really underrated in Arcane. Specific topics like that. So it's like, it's going to be very much vary in terms of formula. It's basically just going to be one big play box, for a bunch of different video ideas that I have going forward. So yeah, look forward to however many of those videos I have ready by the end of 2023. And on top of that, much like how I said last year, we've been meaning to start up a series for Kana and Chiaki, but unfortunately last year we were basically in the brainstorming phase for that. We were like, okay, well, what's a fun comedic series we can have for Kana and Chiaki that doesn't really feel forced? And where we've kind of settled on that is a series known as Ask the Squad. As it sounds, it's going to be a Q&A type series, but it's going to be more of a comedic Q&A type series. It's not going to really be oh, this is, you know, like, these are serious questions that'll seriously be asked like any other Q&A series. No, it's going to be more played up for comedy, as evident by the fact that it's Kana and Chiaki that are going to be the main hosts of the series. Though we will probably have other people on there as well, like myself or Zen, you know, just for the sake of, you know, it being fun, and, you know, just keeping the vibe of the series up as we keep making those videos. We'll probably start taking questions from people within like the next month or two. We'll do it across different platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Discord. So if you want to like ask a question for that, keep an eye out on any of those platforms. And you'll basically have the chance to ask a question for that series. And I don't know why I was speaking as if I was going to not end that sentence. But yeah, that's generally the plans that we have for that series. We may also have some other plans that may or may not be sprouting up in the pipeline, down the pipeline, but those aren't stuff that we are currently focusing on. We have plenty, as you can tell by this update video, we have plenty of things already that we are already focusing on. So these are currently our plans for Kana and Chiaki. It'll definitely give Casey and Michelle a good opportunity to finally step back in and start voicing those characters again. So yeah, look forward to that. And finally, I want to talk about the gaming channel. As many of you will know, there's been a bunch of Let's Plays that Zen and I have been doing over on Bun Squad Gaming in the last couple of months, edited by Tifa. So thank you, Tifa. As always, your work is very much appreciated. I look forward to you being my partner in crime for that behemoth of a Danganronpa 2 video. But yeah, so we've been doing a bunch of Let's Plays over there on Bun Squad Gaming, and they have been focused on the classic Sonic the Hedgehog series. The Sonic 1 Let's Play is already done, and the Sonic 2 Let's Play is also mostly done. We only really need the extras video and the first impressions video out for that series. But after that, we will essentially be continuing on with Sonic for the rest of the year. The classic Sonic block, as we've laid it out, is also going to include Sonic CD. That's going to be the next Let's Play that we do. And that'll be a blind one, unlike Sonic 1 and 2, which Zen has played in the past. She hasn't played Sonic CD, so it'll be very fun to see how, you know, how she takes to the game and what her thoughts on it all are. Following that's going to be Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which she hasn't played either Sonic 3 or Knuckles, but she, or Sonic and Knuckles, I should say, but she will be playing those games individually first. And then the Let's Play itself will be focused on Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is the complete version of the game. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, we'll explain it eventually for the eventual Sonic 3 and Knuckles primer. And then finally, the last proper Let's Play for the classic Sonic block will be on Sonic 3D Blast, which isn't a main Sonic game, but Zen wanted to cover it anyway because it's Sonic 3D Blast. It's kind of hilarious. And then we'll also probably do some one-offs involving Sonic R and Sonic the Fighters, but we'll get back to you on that as the year progresses. I honestly think this is a pretty good lineup for this year. I think that we have a very good chance of finishing the classic Sonic block before the end of 2023, since we've been able to mostly get these Let's Plays out at a pretty consistent pace. Just keep in mind that between the primer and the main Let's Play series itself starting, we usually like to leave a bit of time just so we can, you know, let Tifa prepare all the episodes and get them all edited. So just keep that in mind in case you're asking, hey, you did the primer for this one Let's Play, why are you, you know, where's the rest of it? Well, just have to wait. Following Classic Sonic though, we do plan on the next two series being Kirby and Castlevania, you know, the most similar of franchises out there. There is currently a poll going on right now, which I will leave a link to in the description, where you can vote currently on which series you want to see first. Whether you want to see Castlevania first, or whether you want to see Kirby first, or, and this is what I'd prefer, basically you can vote for both series going simultaneously amongst each other. So it'll be like, say, Kirby's Dream Land, then Castlevania 1, then Kirby's Adventure, then Castlevania 2, etc, etc. And that'll basically just be the, much like Sonic, we aren't going to do the entire franchises all at once. It'll be like blocks for those franchises, where we're going to cover classic Castlevania first, and basically all the Kirby games up to Kirby 64, since that's basically like the 90s era of Kirby. So links in the description, you can vote for that. And then the final thing to talk about really is live streams, because I know that live streams have not been consistent at all. In fact, we haven't really done live streams since the start of last year. The only stream we did was that You Laugh, You Lose stream, all the way back in the middle of 2022. And that was meant to be us getting back on track with live streams. And then I went to Macedonia, and we, no joke, had about 7 or 8 attempts to try and stream Fate Stay Night again. And then was like, oh, can we push back to this date? Oh, you know what? Can we push back to this date? Oh, I'm not really feeling well, Philip. Can we push back here? And it's like, you know, listen, I love Zen, but also she's she procrastinates a lot, and she also has a bunch of health issues that, as we learned this year, were more serious than we initially thought. So yeah, streams were pushed back for quite a while, but at the very least, we want to get them back up and running this year. All of the Fate Stay Night read-through streams that we had done so far have now been uploaded and archived on the Bun Squad gaming channel. And, you know, so if you haven't seen those yet, go watch them. They're all available. We've done, I think, up to like day 4 or 5 of the Fate route. So, and it's funny because Zen was like, wait, aren't we like halfway through the route? And I'm like, no, we're not. You forgot what franchise this is, Zen. You forgot what medium this was even. So that should be fun to go through the rest of that route, as well as the rest of the game in general. So that'll probably be jumping back up at the very least, like probably earliest June or July. I think these next couple of months are going to be focused on primarily getting videos done for the first half of this year. And then I think once my trip is either nearly completed or just completed in general, then we'll basically be going back into live streams once Zen is healthy and willing to do so. But otherwise, that's basically all the things covered. That's everything for the main series, everything for our side content, and everything for the gaming channel. Again, I apologize for things being so scattershot in 2022. It's just real life took the better of us, and, you know, and it's also been just a very hectic time just creating the content itself. So with that being said, if there's one note I want to end this update video on, it's that even if we don't have as many videos in 2023 as we probably would like, at the very least, we want to make every video in 2023 some of the channel's best content. Like the Danganronpa 2 video, for instance. You know, the Danganronpa 1 and the animation videos are some of our most viewed content on the channel, particularly the Danganronpa 1 video, and we're really happy about that because we've been putting our heart and souls into this marathon, and we're really glad that you guys took well to it. So I seriously can't wait for you guys to see that Danganronpa 2 video, as well as the Arcane video, which I'm planning a lot of really, really fun things for. And of course, one thing I haven't mentioned in this video is the storyline segments, which, you know, have been ramping, like, you know, higher and higher in terms of quality, as you guys probably noticed with that Danganronpa the animation story segment. And all I can say is, of course, I'm not going to spoil our own story. Again, no script, so I just keep stuttering. But I'm not going to spoil our own story, but all I can say is that I really hope you guys look forward to all the stuff that we have planned for it, because we have some really fun stuff coming up for it, and I think you guys will definitely get a kick out of it, especially past the halfway point. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching this update video. Next up will probably be the Diving into DuckTales finale, or the next part of the Diving into DuckTales finale, I should say. And then past that, we'll play things by ear and see what comes out to you guys first. But that being said, I'm Philip, And here's to a great 2023. Have a good one, everybody.